Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to Senior Transition Helpers. I'm Brian Sachs, and with me is Joelle Sagner. And again, we try to be your one-stop, honest and caring transition solution. It's a mouthful, isn't it? But really to help you and your family make your transition a smooth and easy one. And, oftentimes there's a home involved when you're moving from your home to a community, whatever level of care you're moving to. Could be assisted living, could be memory care, could be all sorts of different communities out there. But oftentimes the big fly in the ointment, so to speak, is your current home. And doing research online is useful, but it's only as useful as the people you're paying attention to, right? Because anybody can be an expert on YouTube. 10-year-olds are experts on YouTube, and now with AI and chat, you can talk about almost anything. So what we decided we wanted to really speak about today was some of the terminology you hear. You hear the word retail ready and retail pricing for the home. So, Joelle, you have a vast background in real estate. Tell us a little bit about what does that mean? What does retail ready mean?
So I think retail ready is a very descriptive term because we all know, we all go shopping. We love to shop, right? So if you're going to Nordstrom, that's a retail store. You know you're going to be paying top dollar. If you go to Walmart, that's a discount store. So you know you're going to be paying less. So retail ready really means, is your house Nordstrom or is your house Walmart? And nothing against Walmart. I shop there myself. So nothing against Walmart. It's just a matter of what your expectations are. So as a seller, when you're putting your house on the market, you have to think about a buyer's expectation. And of course, we have the whole HGTV thing in everybody's head, thinking that every home should be redone and perfect and beautiful. And buyers buy with their eyes. So you may have some things in your house that are very valuable, like a new air conditioner or a new roof. And does that matter to buyers? It does, but it's not something they see with their eyes. So if you have that, but you've got a 1990s kitchen, they may consider your home more Walmart than Nordstrom. So it's really about condition. This is what people look at for what the value of your home is, not only buyers, agents as real estate agents, and appraisers. So if you have two homes that for all intents and purposes are equal, and when I say that, I mean same square footage or similar square footage, bedrooms, baths, same neighborhood, same type of house, single family versus single, town versus town. So you're comparing apples to apples, but one home has a kitchen that was redone in, let's say 2010, and then, or 2017. And then we have another one, the kitchen was done in 1990. Well, the 1990 kitchen house is going to be worth less than the one that has the new kitchen. Same with if you do have your baths redone. If you're, the more you have that differential, there's going to be the difference in not only what buyers are willing to pay, but in what the value of the home is. So how does that come into play with what we do? Comes into play in that if you want to get top dollar for your property, you have to make your home retail ready. And when you do that, there's this misnomer that people think, well, I just put in a new kitchen, I just put in a new bath, that cost me $50,000, I should get that $50,000 back. And in some way, logically, I can see that connection making sense. But the reality is, if this home has all those things already in it, you've now just come up to what the expectation is in the market. You're not going to get that dollar for dollar back. What's going to happen is your home is going to be more sellable, and it's going to be something that you could sell faster. And for more money, it's just not going to be the same amount that maybe you put into it. So you have to think about all of those things. And in our industry, homes are typically people's biggest asset, and they need those funds to move to a care community. So then you have the issue of time versus money, right? So if you need to get into that care community faster, then time is what's more important to you. So there are ways that we can go around having to make your, having to make your home retail ready. And that would be us offering a fair offer based on what your house currently looks like. And then we'll take care of it. So we take all that burden off of you and you get to get your money for your home and move forward. So that's really what we need.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because no, this isn't funny. My mother-in-law passed away. That part's not funny. But coincidentally, I remember her telling me, I put in a generator. So if there's a hurricane, and I put this plant in, and this plant was 10 grand. Well,
Right.
that's awesome, but you're not getting 10 grand back for it. And the generator is just a cherry on top, a sprinkle, if you will.
Exactly.
It has no real
Exactly.
value, but it has real value, obviously, but it's not going to improve the price of your home.
Of
And,
course.
there's another issue here, Joelle. I think you've laid it out beautifully and very succinctly, but there's another issue here. If you are watching this and you have a parent living out of town, or you're the parent and your
Right.
children are out of town,
Right.
and you need to go into a community, let's forget about money. Let's assume money is not an issue and you could use all the money in the world to do whatever you got to do. Folks, we're in South Florida. There is an issue here with contractors. There's an issue here with fraud.
Oh, yeah.
There are like a lot of issue here about fraud. And it's just hassle factor, right? Sometimes it's just not worth the hassle to squeeze out every nickel and dime you can possibly get when there's a better turnkey solution. And you give an example of fixing a kitchen up for 50. But the reality is you can fix up a kitchen for 30, 50, 100, or 150.
Sure. Sure.
And you're right to your point, Joelle. You could sometimes over improve the house. And you don't know. Look, the right way to go about it is to get 3 to 5 contractors in and get bids from all of them. Okay.
Right. Now you're talking time.
You got time for that?
Uh-huh.
Time? I mean, you might not have the time. I wouldn't have the patience. That's a whole separate issue.
I was just going to say, not just time, but it's
Right.
the aggravation factor. You may pick 3 people to come out and only one shows up too.
Yeah. Well, you might pay one and only one shows up.
Sure,
Or
that's
not
true as
show up at
well.
all. That happened to me here.
Yes.
So I had an electrician tell me that he's a painter. Well, he might be a paint by number art project, but he sure as hell ain't a good house painter because all my paint's peeling. But he gave
Oh,
me a
God.
great price. But at the end of the day, I got to redo everything. But all the electricity works, so I guess that's good. And we haven't caught on fire yet, so it's all wired correctly and whatever.
Right.
So look, the reality is there's not a right or wrong. Just like you said, Walmart's doing just fine.
Right.
Nordstrom's doing just fine.
Exactly right.
And what we try to bring to our clients, Joelle and I, is that choice. Here's the choice. You can do whatever you like. It's your home, your money, your time. But it's good to have options. Listing the home for sale is certainly a track. It's an option. And not listing the home and just here's the key, here's a fair price, and let's move on to the next phase
Right.
is also an option. So it's not a right or wrong. Again, it's in sync with what Joelle and I are trying to do here, which is bring you knowledge and bring you information so you can make good decisions. And Joelle and I have, if you want to call us, we'll put the number below. Or you could just visit seniortransitionhelpers.com, right? But there are, Joelle and I can share with you what the average cost is to do a certain project in the property and what that generally translates to in value. And
Right.
we can also give you just the value of homes that have sold in your area. I'll say this very quickly, and maybe we'll make this a whole nother show, Joelle. But what an appraiser is going to do is look at homes that have sold in the last 6 months in your area, generally within a mile, and then compare bedrooms, bathrooms, condition, as Joelle said, and updates. And that's how value is determined. That's how they don't just pop a number out. It's very scientific.
Right.
And so Joelle and I have all those stats. My, 38 years in the industry, Joelle well over, I think, 20 years in the industry. And we certainly can give you those stats. There's no charge. We're happy to speak with you.
Right.
So, what do you
Well,
have?
one other thing, Brian, I want to make sure that we address is that sometimes it's not even just getting it retail ready, it's about the stuff. Because I moved to Florida to be with my parents together in the same house, and I'd been in my home for 16 years, and I never want to go through that process again. I mean, that the getting rid of stuff and the coordination and the trying to sell things, and it's just so draining and overwhelming and exhausting that's also a piece that sometimes trips people up and sort of gets them stuck is this stuff, and we take care of that as well.
Yeah, well, it's right on the sign. You're one stop.
That's right.
Honest and
Right.
caring.
Right.
We're honest and caring. I think we're both honest and caring.
Sure.
But we're honest and caring because Joelle's living it and I already have lived it. So, we get it. We've been there.
Well, I'm going on my second round because we did this with my grandparents. So.
Right, exactly. Been there, done it, and now we're doing the podcast about it. So it's all good. Send us an email. Visit our website, seniortransitionhelpers.com. You can reach me, 443-324-8424. How do they reach you, Joelle?
443-277-3160.
All right. Thank you all so much, and we'll be back. And by the way, if you know someone that really would benefit from this information or would even want to be a guest, please share it.
Absolutely.